Hello students, welcome to your e-learning classes of Asansol North Point School. Today we are going to study the first poem that is there in your Honeydew Reader book, and the name of the poem is The Ant and the Cricket. So it is adopted from Aesop's Fables. First we are going to study about who was Aesop's, and then we will study about what is a fable. So Aesop, you can find over here that Aesop was a Greek fabulist and a storyteller credited with a number of fables, now collectively known as Aesop's fable. Alright, so from here you can see the picture of Aesop's, and he was a Greek fabulist and a storyteller who credited or who has given us a number of fables. Alright, fables, what is a fable? We'll be studying just after this. And those fables collectively they are known as Aesop's fables. Alright, now what is a fable? See over here. A fable is a story often with animals as characters that conveys a moral. This poem is about an ant and a cricket and contains an idea of far-reaching significance, which is as true of a four-legged cricket as of a two-legged one. Surely you have seen a cricket that has two legs. So now, what is a fable? Fable is a story with animals as characters. That means you will find that fable is a kind of story where animals are the characters and they always convey a moral. Just for example, you have all heard the story about the hare and the tortoise. So over there, you will find that it also has a moral. The moral was that slow and steady won the race, because the hare was very much confident that he would win the race, and so he just took some rest and he wasted his time, and the tortoise, who is very slow, he won the race. So this is a fable. It always conveys a message. So in this poem, what is happening? This poem is also about two animals, that is a cricket and an ant. Alright, and even in this poem, a moral is being given. An idea of far-reaching significance, which is as true of a four-legged cricket as of a two-legged one. So what does this line mean? This means that whatever poem or whatever fable Aesop wrote, everything had a moral, and particularly in this story that is about the ant and the cricket, you will find that the cricket is of four-legged, but it is being compared to a two-legged cricket. By the word two-legged cricket, we refer to the human beings. Alright, Aesop has given a comparison with the ant and the cricket with the human beings. He has compared the two, he has compared the ant and the cricket with the human beings. That is, the behavior or the nature of the ant and the cricket with the nature of human beings. Surely you have seen a cricket that has two legs. That means we all have seen human beings, because we are all human beings. Now as we will move into the poem, that is the ant and the cricket, the thing will be clear to you. Now, see, before moving into the poem, I would like to give you two examples. You will find that there are two different categories of students. Alright, suppose for example, you come to know that you have your exams just after 2 months. That is, suppose this is the month of May that is going on, and in the month of July you will be having your exam. So when you come to know about this thing, there will be the first category of students who will think that, oh, 2 months is left, so a lot of time is there, and I will just revise the chapters, or I will start revising the chapters just before my exams. Alright, now much time is left, so from the mid of June I'll be starting the revision. Alright, whereas the second category of students are those who will start working from today itself, that is from the present day itself, when they will come to know that just after 2 months they will be having the exam. As a result, what is going to happen? By the time the exam would come, they would fully prepare themselves with all the notes and all the chapters. Alright. So, when we will be moving into this poem, that is Ant and the Cricket, you will find that the cricket belongs to the first category of students who are always very lethargic, who are always very lazy with their work, and who never even do their works on time. Whereas the ant, you will find it belongs to the second category of students who are very hardworking. That is from the very first day when they come to know that they have their exam just 2 months after. Alright, so now let's move on to the poem. A silly young cricket accustomed to sing through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. So here in this poem, a silly young cricket. This word silly, this means a foolish young cricket. So what is being shown over here is that a foolish young cricket accustomed to sing. That means a foolish cricket who is used to singing through the summer, through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring. That means the cricket during the summer time and during the spring time, when he was supposed to collect the food, when he was supposed to just prepare himself for the winter so that he could protect himself from, he will be able to protect himself from winter. That time he was busy singing, because every time the cricket is in the mood of wasting his time. He is in the mood of enjoying his time right at that very moment. Alright, accustomed to sing means he was used to singing. So then what happened? Began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. So these two lines means when the cricket found that it was winter time, and when he opened his cupboard, he found that not a single bit of food was there inside his cupboard. Alright, so he just complained himself that I don't have any food inside my cupboard. Now it is the winter time. Alright, that's why the cricket is being referred to as foolish in the first line. Foolish young cricket who would always sing when it is the summer and the springtime. Then the cricket is able to move about here and there, to fly about here and there, because he was very happy during the summer and the spring season. Summer means it is very warm and sunny, and spring means it's neither warm nor very cold. So the weather was very pleasant. That's why the cricket was very happy and he was busy enjoying himself by singing. Alright, and now when he realized that the winter has come, he found that his cupboard was empty and there he did not have even a bit of food with himself. Alright, now in the second stanza over here, you will find not a crumb to be found on the snow-covered ground, not a flower could he see, not a leaf on a tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket of me. So over here you can see from the picture itself that the cricket is very sad. Why? Because he realized that now the winter has come, and when he had opened his cupboard, then he found not a crumb to be found. Now what is the meaning of the word crumb? Crumb means some dry bread pieces, but specifically in this poem it means any bit of food. Alright, so not a crumb to be found means not a bit of food he could find inside his cupboard. On the snow covered ground, it was winter and that's why the snow was covered all around. Not a flower could he see. That means the flower where he used to sit during the summer or the spring season, those flowers might not bloom in the spring season. So he is not able even to find out the flowers upon which he could sit, and sing, he could spend his time. That's why the cricket is saying that not a flower could he see. He cannot find out any flowers. Not a leaf on a tree. That means during the winter or just before the winter, you will find that the leaves of the trees, they start falling. Alright. So even the cricket also said that the trees did not have any leaf, not a leaf on the tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket of me. Now the cricket is saying that what will become, that is what is going to happen to me now. What will be my condition? Now it is the winter season and what is going to happen to me now? Alright, so then what is happening? The cricket, he is thinking that I don't have even a little bit of food with me. There is no flower, all around it's covered with snow. So what is going to happen to me? I am going to die of hunger. So these are the thoughts which are coming into the mind of the cricket. Now, over here what is happening? At last, by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping, yet with wet and all trembling with cold, away he set off to a miserly ant to see if to keep him alive he would grant. Now over here, see over here, at last by starvation and famine. So starvation, why? Because the cricket did not have even a bit of food with him to feed himself. That's why he was starving. Starving means when you don't have anything to eat, you are almost fasting. And famine means when you don't have any food with you, that is the condition of famine. So the cricket was he was starving and he did not have any food with him. So all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold. You will find that in winter, in some places snow falls and in some places during the winter also rain falls. Alright, so here what is happening, the same kind of weather we can find over here, that the snow is falling and along with that some rain is also there, and that's why it has been told in the second line that all dripping with wet. That means all around the surrounding is fully wet. And all trembling with cold. Why it's trembling with cold? Because first of all it's winter season, there is snowfall, there is rain. That's why it's very cold outside. Everyone is trembling. The cricket is also trembling with cold. Alright. So here what is happening? Away he set off to a miserly ant. Now the cricket is going to the miserly ant over here. Now who is a miser? Miser is a person who is unwilling to give or unwilling to share any of his things with anybody else. Alright, so over here the ant is referred to as a miser. Alright, so the cricket is going to the ant to see if to keep him alive he would grant. In order to keep the cricket himself alive, in order to keep himself alive in this condition, he is going to the ant for some help. But as from the word itself, miser word itself, you can understand that the ant is not going to help the cricket. Now let's see in the next lines what is going to happen. Alright. Him sheltered from rain and a mouthful of grain. He wished only to borrow. He would repay it tomorrow. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow. So the cricket is going to the ant to borrow his things from them. To borrow food and to take some shelter from the ant, because the time when the cricket was supposed to collect the food for himself, or he was supposed to prepare the shelter for himself because the winter was coming, that time the cricket was busy wasting his time. Alright, he was busy spending his time by singing song, by flying here and there, and now when the winter has come, the cricket, he wants the help from the miser ant. So what is happening in these lines, we will just find out. Him shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain. So the cricket is now wanting shelter from the ant just in order to protect himself from the rain. So from this very line we are coming to know that the cricket in his present condition, he does not even have his home with him. That means the place where he was staying, even that is destroyed. Alright. So now he wants even a shelter from the ant and a mouthful of grain. That means he wants some food from the ant, because the cricket was starving. It was fasting. It did not have any food with him. He wished only to borrow. He wanted to borrow this from the ant. That is, he wanted to borrow some food from the ant, as well as he wanted some shelter from the ant. He wanted to stay in the ant's house. Alright, in order to protect himself from this severe cold weather. He would repay it tomorrow. The cricket, he was thinking that he would repay the thing which he is borrowing, that is the food, the amount of food which he is borrowing, he would repay that after few days, or just tomorrow means after few days he is going to return it back, that is repay it back. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow. If the ant is not willing to help the cricket, then the cricket would die of starvation, because he is hungry, he is fasting, he did not have any food with him. That's why he would die of starvation as well as of sorrow. Why sorrow? Because nobody was there to help the cricket. Alright. So that's why if the ant would not help the cricket, then in that way the cricket would die of hunger as well as of sorrow. Alright. Now, here what is being said, says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. So, just before these lines, we found that the cricket was asking help from the ant. So now what is the ant doing? Says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend. So the ant is telling the cricket that I am your friend and I am also your servant. But there is a rule which is followed among we ants. So what is the rule that is being followed? We ants never borrow, we ants never lend. That means in our ant kingdom, what is happening? We never borrow from anyone, nor do we lend anybody anything. Alright. So from this particular sentence, we are able to know that indirectly the ant is telling the cricket that neither I can give you anything nor I will be taking anything from you, because that was the rule which was followed with the ants. Alright. So, next what is happening? But tell me dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? So here the ant is asking the cricket a repeat question that, but tell me dear cricket. The ant is asking the cricket that just tell me one thing, that did you not lay anything by when the weather was warm, that is when it was the warm weather, that is the summer season, or to certain extent you can say when it was the spring season. Then did you not collect anything for yourself? Did you not preserve any food for yourself? Because you knew that just after this the winter would be coming. So it was even your duty to collect the food for yourself and to store it, as well as to prepare a shelter for yourself so that you can protect yourself from the winter. But did you not do that when you had the time? This is the question which the ant is asking the cricket. Alright? Just give me a second. So, here what is happening? Quote the cricket, "Not I, my heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you say, then go, says the ant, dance the winter away." So, here what is happening in these lines, when the ant came to know from the cricket that the cricket was, the ant came to know from the cricket that the cricket did not collect any food for himself, nor did he prepare any shelter for him. So the ant just asked the cricket that what were you doing during that time when you were supposed to prepare a shelter for yourself, when you were supposed to collect food for yourself and you were to keep it for your future use, then that time what were you were doing? So these are the replies which the cricket gave the ant. Let's see. Quote the cricket. Quote. The meaning of the word quote over here is said. Okay. So the cricket said, "Not I. My heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay." So the cricket is replying that no, I did not do anything. That is, I did not collect food, nor did I prepare any shelter. Why? Because my heart was so light. My heart was so happy. Heart was so light means my heart was so happy. Why it was happy? Because the weather was very happy. The weather was very gay. It was neither too hot nor it was rainy, nothing. It was sunny everywhere. So I was singing day and night. This is how I spent all of my days. Alright? Because the nature that time looked very gay. The nature that time looked very happy. That's why even I was very happy and I started spending my time by singing. Alright? This way the time passed and I did not collect any food for myself, nor did I prepare any shelter for myself. Alright? So these are the replies which the cricket gave the ant. "You sang, sir, you said. Go then, says the ant, dance the winter away." So the ant is saying the cricket that, okay, it's fine. You were singing during the summer and the spring season. So now, since it is the winter season, you start dancing. And what you do is, you start dancing and you will find that the winter has also passed. And you can just leave the place. You have come here to take help from me. So you can leave the place and you can go away from here. Okay. So the ant replied to the cricket that you can start dancing because it is the winter season now. In the summer and spring season you were singing, and now in the winter season you start dancing, and someday you will find that the winter has also passed. Okay. Now over here what is happening, just see. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket and out of the doors. Just a second. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the cricket and out of the doors turned the poor little cricket. Folks call this a fable. I will warrant it true. Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. In these lines, the poet over here, he is giving us a message. See over here. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket. So when the cricket got the reply from the ant that the cricket could leave that place and he could go away because the ant was not going to help him, and even the ant told the cricket, asked the cricket the reason why he did not collect the food for himself. When he came to know about everything, he just straight away told the cricket that you should leave the place and you should go away from here. So what did the cricket do? He lifted up his things, that is, you can see from the picture over here The cricket, he is just literally crying and he is taking his things and he is moving away from that place, and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. That means the cricket is going away from this place. Folks call this a fable. Folk over here means the common people. The people call this a fable. I warrant it's true. Even the poet himself believes that it is true. It is a fable because there are two characters, that is the ant and the cricket, and it is also providing us a moral. Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. Cricket with 4 legs means the character which has been shown over here, that is this one. That is cricket with 4 legs, and with 2 legs over here means the human beings. So in what way this is related? Just as the 2 examples which I said just in the beginning of this presentation, that there are 2 categories of students. The first category of students are those students who are very lethargic with their work, who are very lazy with their work, who never do their work on time. Alright, if they come to know that they will be having their exam 2 months later, then they will just spend their time. Oh, we have a lot of time now, we'll spend our time nicely. When the exam will come, that time we'll sit for study. This is the notion, or this is the thought which is going to come into their mind. Alright, just as the cricket, because the cricket thought the weather was very happy, the weather was very gay, so he should also enjoy himself. That's why he started singing and he started wasting his time when he was supposed to collect the food for himself in order to store it so that he could save himself from the winter. Even the shelter of the cricket was destroyed, but still he did not even prepare a shelter for himself because he was busy enjoying himself. Now, the second category of students are those students who are very serious with their work. That is from the very day when they come to know that they are going to have their exams 2 months later. So the very day they will be coming to know about this, they will start preparing themselves. They will make notes, they will read the chapter, they will learn the notes. All these things they will be start doing. Alright. So by the time when they will be having the exam, they won't face any problem. So these category of students just fall under the ant, because the ant was busy preparing, that is the ant was busy collecting the food for himself, because he knew that the winter was coming and in winter he won't find any food for himself if he is not going to collect and keep it. And furthermore, the ant also prepared a good shelter for himself so that he could protect himself from the winter. Alright. So the moral of the poem, so as I have said you that there is a moral. Whenever you are studying a fable, it always conveys a moral. So the moral of the poem is that, the moral of the poem, the ant and the cricket, is that if we enjoy today, then we will surely suffer tomorrow. As in the poem, the cricket just sung day and night in the summer, but the ant did work day and night. So now, in the winter, the cricket is dying of hunger. So you can understand from this that the moral is that if we are enjoying today, if we are making fun today, if we are having fun today, then it is sure that we will suffer tomorrow. We will have to pay for it tomorrow. Alright? Just as again, I would like to bring the 2 examples with the humans. That is the 2 category of students which I had described. That the first category of students who are enjoying themselves every time, when they come to know that after 2 months they have the exam, but still they are not that much serious, they are very much lethargic, that when the time will come just 1 week or 15 days before, I will start studying. Alright, so ultimately what happens, those students, few of them, they study in the last moment and they are able to get good result. But some of them, what happened, they are unable to study and they call up their friends that give me notes, give me this material, I don't have this meaning, tell me this. So this way they ask help from the others, just as the cricket is trying to get the help from the ant. And what is happening? These students, with the help of others, they try to overcome that situation. They never realize that they are themselves responsible for this kind of situation. Alright, they always think that now we have the time in our hand, we can waste our time, but when they should really prepare themselves, when they really have the time in their hand to prepare themselves, that time they don't do it. Just as the cricket, when the cricket really had the time in his hand to collect the food for himself or to prepare a shelter for himself, that time the cricket was busy wasting his time. He was singing song day and night, he was sitting upon the flowers, he was flying about here and there, and now when it is the winter time, he is going to the ant for help so that the ant could provide him some food or the ant could provide him some shelter so that he could save himself from that severe weather. Now, as in the poem, the cricket just sang day and night in the summer, but ant did work day and night. When the cricket was busy singing the song during the summer and the spring season, then that time what was the ants doing? The ant was busy collecting the food for themselves during the summer and the spring season, as well as they were working hard day and night so that during the winter they can take rest, they can protect themselves from the severe weather, they have food with themselves which would save them from dying. So this way the ant is very hardworking, whereas the cricket is very lazy. The cricket is very foolish. Okay. So now in winter the cricket is dying of hunger. In winter the cricket does not have even a bit of food with him. He is dying of hunger, whereas the ant is staying very safely, very nicely at his home, and he is even having food with himself which he is able to feed himself, and this way the ant is able to protect itself from the winter. Alright, so this is the poem that you should do your work in time. You should never keep your work for tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So whatever work you are having, do it right at that very moment. Alright, so this is the moral which we are getting. So here, this is the difference which the poet is trying to show us with the cricket and the ant along with the animals. Alright, so now just give me a second. So here are some word meanings. Just as the meaning of the word silly, I have told you foolish. Crumb means a small fragment of bread, cake or biscuit. Dripping, fall in small drops. Miser is a person who hoards wealth and spends as little money as possible. So this is all about your poem Ant and the Cricket. So we'll be meeting in the next video with some other topic. Thank you everyone.